This video is going to focus specifically on this idea of the change in the output. And so we want to first, what does it mean to be the change in the output? So we're talking about the change in our output variable, which in this case, our output variable is talking to us about the percentage. So it's the percent of Americans. How is this changing? And more specifically, how much did it change? So if we look back at the original problem, we know that the percent of Americans changed in those 4 years by this amount. And then we know that it changed in 8 years by this amount. So we can look at it each year. The changing amount is 1.6 repeating percent, or in 12 years the output is changing by 20%, or in 4 years the output is changing by 6 2/3%. So now if we're looking at this particular, so part G is referring to the problem in part E. So we know that in 12 years the output changed by 15%. Each year the output is changing by, or it's changing by a decrease of 1.25%. So now if we look specifically at this problem, we want to know if the change was a 3-year time span change, then we know that in 3 years, and if it's changing by 1.25% each year, then we know that in 3 years, that means that it's going to change by 3.75, but it's going to be a decline or a decrease in 3.75%, because each year it's decreasing by 1.25%. So over a 3-year span, it's going to decrease 3 times that, which is negative 3.75%. Or each year, you could simply just do, in year 1, it decreased by this much. In year 2, it's by this much. Year 3 was this much. And if you sum all these up, you're going to end up with that amount right there. So in the 6.2 years time span, it'll be a little more than the 6 times. So in this case, it's going to be 6.2 times what happens each year. And so we're going to end up with a decrease of 7.75% in the 6.2 years.